virgin. I've never done this before.
I understand. Well, you're never going to forget your first time. So, so tell me, man, what you talked about how you love him, you followed him since you went down the escalator and all of that. What is it like? What's one thing he did when he was in office that you really loved?
He didn't lie to us. He never lied to the American people. He always told us the truth, and he was the first president to ever be honest and tell the American people that he was on our side.
In the wake of what's going on legally for him now, where people are saying, well, maybe he wasn't as honest as he should have been, how do you square that circle?
I think he was honest. I've been following Newsmax, and then I compare him, and when he says the fake news, and then we check that out, and he's right. So you can back up everything he's ever said, and he's never been wrong.
If he came up to you right now and he said, I want to have a heart-to-heart with you, what would you talk to about with him?
I would ask him, is McDonald's his favorite?
Is it your favorite?
No, I'm on a diet. Don't try it.
Good. And what if President Biden were to come up and introduce himself and say, hi, ma'am, how are you?
I would be respectful of my elders and walk away or roll away.
And Georgia is the one I'm talking about, because that seems to be where they're turning on him a lot.
Well, I don't remember who it was, but one of them did. She came out and interviewed and said, "This is what the boss said."
Yeah, Jenna Ellis.
The boss said. Well, the boss could be that guy for all I know.
We're here with a proffer with Miss Jenna Ellis.
Ellis, who falsely claimed ballots were manipulated, recounting a time at the 2020 White House Christmas party when she said Trump aide Dan Scavino told her Trump planned to simply refuse to leave the White House.
He said to me in a kind of excited tone, well, we don't care and we're not going to leave.
Ellis said she asked him, what do you mean?
He said the boss is not going to leave under any circumstances. We are just going to stay in power.
Right-wing cope is beyond out of control. I mean, who else could she really be talking about right now?
She's not saying Donald John Trump. She said the boss. The boss could be anybody. She's not turning. She took what.
Could be Bruce Springsteen.
She took the plea deal to save herself, and I understand that. But at the end of the day, she's still not saying Donald John Trump. She said the boss.
Will you give me your best impersonation?
I can't. I really. It's embarrassing. I can't. I can't. I can't. I mean, other than the dance, you know. Okay, hold on. Give it to me. I love you.
He tells the truth. Might have a bad mouth, but he tells the truth.
You know, a lot of people say that about him, and yet we hear these indictments, we hear the stuff that's going on. How do you match those two, reconcile them?
Can't say on it. It's crazy. They need to drain the swamp and get rid of the ones that's doing it because they're the ones causing the problem.
But even you have people in his administration saying that he was responsible for Georgia and things like that.
I doubt it. I really do. There's enough money that they pay them to. I mean, somebody give me a couple $1 million, I'd say what they want me to say too.
And what about the indictments? Do those bother you at all?
Absolutely not. I don't even believe they have any value, any truth to them. They're fake. Absolutely fake.
It's easier for them to believe that everybody else in the world is lying instead of them maybe just being wrong.
And I'm not madly in love with Trump's personality, but nobody would go through what he's going through voluntarily and still survive it. Most of us would have split from this kind of pressure like a rotten watermelon. And he's taken it, and he's taken it, and he's taken it, and he's supposed to have spent $100 million defending himself against frivolous crap.
Jenna Ellis, Kenneth Chesbrough in Georgia have said that they were told to actually say something that wasn't true and that they would deny the results of the election. Does that bother you at all as far as being a Trump supporter or not?
No, I couldn't even really comment on that. There's so much he said, she said, misinformation out there on that. I mean, it'd be hard for anybody to really comment on that.
You now have former Trump administration officials that are saying that there were untoward things after the election, and there are all these indictments. Does that give you pause at all?
No, they're just going after him. They've said they were going to go after him from Even before his presidency last time, they've just been after him because he's such an outsider. And that's what I like about him, because he's not a politician.
But now he is, right?
No.
We saw some tape of Jenna Ellis and Ken Chesebro, who were part of Donald Trump's legal team in 2020 after the election. And they're saying some pretty damning things. Does any of what you're hearing bother you in terms of your support?
So, no. I think when you look at the big picture and you look at the alternatives that are out there, no.
Going back to Georgia, these people have said that Donald Trump told them to deny the results no matter what, and that people within his administration said, we're going to stay. Daniel Scavino. Is there anything to that? I mean, in terms of patriotism, in terms of the Constitution, that bothers you?
If, in fact, it was true, is there proof that that was true? I mean, that's just all opinion.
I wasn't there. But.
I wasn't there either, but I think that most accusations against Trump are simply, people are afraid of him. The gravy train's going to stop, like in the Congress and stuff. People don't want him in charge because he exposes the swamp.
You know, and it's really amazing how these people are willing to give a millionaire reality television star, tax cheat, hand-me-down who lost all of his dad's money and consistently got bailed out by him every step of the way. They'd rather believe that he's a man of the people. You know, the guy with 91 felony charges, 4 indictments, all of that, and so on and so forth. He's a man of the people, but people who have actually have a track record of public service, who are actually in office, no, not them. You know, they're not here for you, but Donald Trump, he's here for you, even though he has literally decades worth of proof that he's nothing more than a shiesty con artist. And, you know, the craziest thing about the MAGA cult to me, well, I don't know if it's the craziest thing, it's one of the craziest things, is that Donald Trump is possibly the most undeserving man of loyalty that I can ever think of. Not because, you know, he won't give you his loyalty. You know, that's a good reason. But nothing about him screams powerful leader. Nothing about him says that he's going to make a positive change. And most importantly, he was already in office. All he did was cut taxes for the wealthy and corporations. And then the country was shut down for an entire year. Much of the world was shut down for an entire year and beyond. But he dismantled our response systems for it and then pretended like COVID wasn't a thing. And then he lost in 2020. And ever since 2018, Republicans have not been doing as well in elections as the polls have showed that they would, or that you would think that they might, because of the reversal of Roe v. Wade. And so, despite the fact that Republicans are losing and losing and losing, they're willing to throw all of their hats in the ring, all their eggs in the basket for Donald Trump, who on a daily basis, it's looking worse and worse for him.